Hi, I'm Max from Sowiso and I'm going to show you the student perspective of Sowiso today. I just logged in as a user and I'm now in the student mode on my homepage. As you can see right here, this is a course with 3 chapters in it, and I also have some other widgets on my home screen. There's my name, there's gamification enabled, so I get experience points. I see an average, progress and score. I can switch my classes here and I can take some tests. Other than that, I have inline progress on my home screen. There's a score and a progress. And if I open up a chapter, I get my score and progress per content item. So I get it on chapter level, here on sub-chapter level, and then also whether I also already viewed a theory page and if I already attempted the package. If you go into a theory page, the page opens up and you will get explanations. The way we explain things is usually with examples first. We color items to get a reference back to the theory, and sometimes we put in animations to make it for students easier to understand what's going on. Next to that, we can explain theoretical parts, but also hide some extra material, which we call expandable boxes. So in this case, the definition is here, but there's also requirements to variables, which is a clickable extra item. If I click there, the extra content opens up and students can actually see the extra item if they want to, which makes it more or less optional content. Right here I see that the integer is underlined, which means that it's part of the glossary. If I hover over it, the definition of integers pops up, and if I click there, it even brings me to the definition of integers. These glossary items are enabled on our default content, but you can also create your own glossaries. Now if I go down, you can create multiple of these cards. In this case there are 3 statements with some examples. And this theory page ends up with an example which is drawn from the question bank, which we call a dynamic example. As you can see, there are 3 bullets here, dots, and if I click a dot, the first one, it will actually give me a new example based on the same exercise and based on its randomized values. I can do it again. But I can also choose to go to the next example by clicking New Example, and then another exercise that was pre-selected for me will show up as an example, both with the question text and the solution text. If I want, as a student, I can ask a question about this particular theory page, and it will get posted onto the forum together with a backlink on the theory page ID, so that it's still known to everybody what the question was about. And lastly, I can give you feedback back to the authors whether I liked or I didn't like this page. If I go back to the home screen, I can now continue with taking some exercises from a package. So let's do that. As you can see right here, I have a few options. I can answer in the form of a mathematical equation. I can also consult the theory page. If I click there, it will open up the theory page we just saw as a cross-reference. So students do not have to leave the page to view the theory inline. They can just do so. There's also the option to ask for hints until they're all dried up. And then the hit button disappears. And then I can try to solve the exercise. I can use the virtual keyboard for that, which holds all the symbols that you need and also the ones that are not on your hardware keyboard, like a square root. It has multiple tabs, one for standard mathematical content, one for functions, there's one for logic, one for linear algebra, and there's the alphabet, the capital case alphabet, and Greek characters, and there's one special for units. Apart from the virtual keyboard, I can just use my hardware keyboard as well to input the mathematical expression as an answer right here. Lastly, I can click any math on the page, which will paste it to my input into the formula editor as a starting point. Now let's have a look what happens if I give this as the answer to this particular question. The system actually recognized that the answer is correct by showing the yellow check mark, but it also gives some extra feedback on how to further simplify the answer. I can follow the steps here to try to get to the proper solution. So let's try this. Again, I get feedback because something went wrong. Well, not wrong, but it has to be simplified even more. So let's do that again. And maybe let's make a small mistake. So instead of adding 2, I'll subtract 2 here. Now the system recognizes that there was an error made, and it also tries to be as specific as possible to the student to give feedback on what error was made. In this case, it recognizes that the coefficient of x is incorrect, and it will tell the student that his mistake is somewhere there. Now, apparently there's another mistake, and what we do is that we always only give one particular feedback at the same time to not confuse the student. So in this case, we gave this particular feedback precedence over that one. So let's try to solve this one as well. And now we're all done. Now as a student, I get to repeat the exercise, and I will get the same exercise, but then with different values because of the randomization. I can also ask a question on the forum, and all my answers, together with the randomized values of my exercise, will be posted on the forum as well. So let's repeat this question. Let's see whether I get a different equation. Yeah, and there it is. So I'm now repeating question 2. I already solved it once, so my breadcrumb color is orange, but if I get it right in one go, I will mark it green. If students get stuck in an exercise because they don't know what to do, they can always consult the forum. First they hit solution, they get the solution explanation, and then they hit ask forum question. Then they can post their question to the forum where students and their classmates can reply on the forum post. The question itself, where the student posted his question about, will be regenerated and shown together with the forum post so that the context is very clear. Other students can answer, and you can also comment on threads in the forum. The forum is not only for other students, but it also enables student-teacher interaction so that a teacher can help his students out when they get stuck. The student also has access to the reporting environment itself. Just going to report. And here there is a dashboard where you can follow his own progress. You can also go to the content tab where you can see your progress per chapter again. You can see your progress on tests and assignments. And you can filter on time or download your own progress.